They hoard the tithes and donations. And who gives the most donations and tithes? The poor people. The poor people. Self-hate in the black community. So, whether it's the racism from white people or the self-hate from blacks, my family's out of here. God willing, with your help. And if you can't donate any money, say something positive. Pass the word on. Pass these videos on. Make a good prayer. Your prayer might be answered, and it might open up something for us. But as far as we see it, my babies and my family are too precious. I love them too much. The children. They can't go. My son. It's sad what's going on here. And this is why we must repatriate and leave this land. You know, I don't know. It's just really, really crazy. And again, being a black man and a Muslim, it's a double threat to my life. Because when we look at what's been going on, here's some more material here. Attention is being paid to the growing number of threats against Muslims every day in the United States. Despite the FBI raising the alarm, the FBI issued an intelligence bulletin May 15th warning that militia extremists are increasing their violent rhetoric against Muslims and even potentially making concrete plans to target them for violence. Concrete threats, discussing kidnapping and beheading a Muslim. Threats have been frighteningly specific. They started to be violent death threats towards a few different mosques in Phoenix. We're going to target your worshipers while they are worshiping. We're going to target your families inside your houses, and we're going to burn your mosques down, plotting terrorist attacks on American Muslims. And this comes from Islamophobia Rising. FBI warns militia extremists are targeting Muslims by Kit O'Connell, September 1st, 2015. You know, these threats are real. Muslims are being attacked, and some have already been murdered, and the potential for a nationwide all-out attacks on Muslims can easily happen in the unprecedented and escalation of Islamophobia here in the United States and in Western countries where Muslims reside. Attorney General Eric Holder, threats against Muslims, the most serious of civil rights issues we face. Now, could you imagine that if we went back to the late 60s, whoever thought 40 years in the future it would be against Muslims? And I'm telling you, these Muslims out here, they got Muslims twisted and spooked out here. It's sad. Threats are now a daily event for many Muslims in the U.S. September 25th by Rod Garber. American sniper spawns death threats against Arabs and Muslims. Raina Khalek, Arts and Culture. January 22nd, 2015. 7 anti-Muslim incidents that happened since the Chapel Hill murders. And the Chapel Hill murders, for those who don't know, you all should know, these were 3 wonderful, there's a family, a new bride and groom, and the bride's sister were murdered in cold blood by evil, racist white man for nothing, unjustified. The past week has shown a sharp increase in Islamophobia, which has put many communities on edge. By Imran Siddiqui, Stop Islamophobia Now, February 20th, 2015. As potentials to Muslims mount, the Pentagon asks civilians to stand down. July 26, 2015 by Andy Sharp. This stuff is on a governmental level. So how can I as a black man foresee any positive future? It's not going to stop. This has been going on for 200, 300, 400 years. It's not going to get better. Anti-Islam rhetoric poses a threat to all people of color. By Gurish Wimbe, April 15, 2015. York's Holy Islam Bill terrified after threats to kill New York Muslims. By Andrew Dyes, May 16, 2015. It's not just Ahmed Muhammad. Anti-Muslim bigotry in America is out of control. Updated by Max Fisher on September 16th, 2015. Mosque nationwide on security alert, including Houston locations, by Christine Dobbin. November 4th, 2014. U.S. group issues warning over planned armed anti-Islamic rallies. CBS News, October 4th, 2015. U.S. military white paper describes wearing hijab as passive terrorism. Now that's crazy as hell. The U.S. military says wearing the hijab as passive terrorism. Well, what do you call it when a nun walks out of her convent or house and she's dressed the way she has? Is that called terrorism? No, it is not. Why? Because they're racist. You know, all this stuff is rooted in racism and hate. It's sad. And you know, I do feel bad for the good white people that are going through this as well. You know, I feel bad for them. I really do. But it's nothing they can do about it. Because their numbers are too strong and they're not holding the reins of power. They can't do anything. And what about the biracial couples? Where do they stand in this? Trump said he hates Mexicans, Muslims, and Nigerians. Why did Trump single out Nigerians? That's still somewhat of a mystery. I have my own personal thing on that. But the Nigerians that I know, kids are all smart as hell. Look at the Muslim sister. I forgot her name. What's her name? But she was just in the White House with Obama. One of the smartest teenagers in the world. Look at the young brother from Oakland here, graduated from Tech. He graduated from Tech, had a 5.0 average. Look, it's hard for me to comprehend 4.2. Some of my people that I know, you know, these are bright and gifted. 4.2. This brother from Oakland, 5.0. He said he went to his mailbox, had all the Ivy League colleges begging him to come there. These are Nigerians. But the thing about Nigerians, the ones that I know, they're all wonderful. Every time they go back to Nigeria, they bring me something. And I'm talking about Igbo, Hausa, Edo speaking, all of them. You know, they always bring me something back. But they take no prisoners when it comes to education. And their family structure is still intact. The men are the leaders of the home. The women do their thing. They all love each other. The men respect their women. You know, I know I've seen some of those Nigerians, so they can have a PhD. Guess what? They still cooking for their man. They still getting their kids together. And what does the man do in return? He loves and protects his family and keeps us together. It's a balance. That Western stuff just don't work for us. We have to return back to our African historical consciousness as well. You know, that's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. But let me get back. Vandal spray sand nigger and fuck Muslims on Islamic Society of North America's wall. You know, that's a wonderful organization. Why are they doing this to us? Why are they doing this to us? It doesn't make any sense. How can Muslims possibly feel safe and protected in a climate like this? Muslims have been killed. They said Islamophobia has escalated some 400% in the last 6 months. We've been killed. We do not feel safe because of the threats. The spying. They were spying on us, bugging phones, and nothing has come out of it. Daily racial profiling, racist rhetoric from both Democrats and Republicans in the American media, etc. Check this one out. An American citizen has applied for asylum in Canada because he says he fears the police in the United States will kill him because he is black. The Refugee Board said Thursday. Kyle Liddell Canty, 30 years old, filed a refugee claim soon after arriving in Vancouver in September last year, 2015. According to public broadcaster CBC, he told an Immigration and Refugee Board hearing on October 23rd of 2015, I fear for my life because I am black. This is a well-rounded peer, he said, citing the police shooting of Michael Brown in Missouri and the death of Eric Gardner in New York City at the hands of the police as examples of black people in the United States being exterminated at an alarming rate. At an alarming rate. Will I be next? What's different from me and Eric Gardner? Nothing. What's different from me and Michael Brown? Nothing. What's different from my son and Tamir Rice? Nothing. What about the women? They're killing women too. They're going to shoot my wife? They're going to shoot my daughters? We got little kids, babies at home. I got grandkids. Help us repatriate. And if black Christians who thought, because some of them out there, well, we're not Muslims, we don't have to worry about Islamophobia, doesn't matter. And if black Christians who have been historically persecuted by their co-religionist white brethren in the era of Islamophobia and thought magically were free from this type of behavior and thought to themselves, whew, I'm glad it's not me, glad I'm not Muslim, then all that was immediately washed away when the young, demonic, evil, wicked white 21-year-old racist Dylan Roof mercilessly slaughtered 9 black Christians after sitting in a prayer meeting with them due to his unjustified and unprovoked hate of black people. Several black churches during that time had been burnt down mysteriously to the ground, and Muslims had helped raising funds for some of these churches and helped build them, because that's how we get on. That's how we get on. We don't mind helping people. You know, if you look at the black community before all this Islamophobia stuff started, you know, my mother's still a Christian. You know, her side is Christian. My dad's side, mainly Muslim. And you know what? It's never been a problem. Never been a problem. You know, we love it. Baptist, we respect it. We just wish the preachers would get their thing together. You know, we don't go, you know, talking down to people. You know, these is family members. My grandmother, you know, she used to take us to church. You know, my aunt used to take me to the temple. But we used to go to church. Those were sincere, beautiful people that I still see. They know I'm Muslim. They ain't nothing changed. Baby, you one of them Muslims now. God bless you. They're not tripping. We know you're a good person inside. And you know, and they helped. I couldn't deny that. Now, my kids were raised, you know, 100%, you know, Muslim. But the thing is that it's the American society, it's these white folks that's pushing that stuff. You know, it's the white folks that's pushing that stuff. And we wish it just stopped. Let's stop. But we know that things are just getting worse, no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it. You know, when we look back at the crash of 2007, 2008, you know, blacks lost more than they're willing to admit and to face. We lost an entire generation of hard-earned wealth, was wiped clean from the books, and we will never ever recover from that, pushing us back even further. Pushing us back even further. Excuse me. It's gone. It is gone. The black women in reality are actually holding the black community up, because when they turned their back on the American citizens and shipped all those jobs overseas, you know, black men suffered like hell. So there are more black women in the black community that are employed than black men. Can you believe that? First time in history. First time in history. The jobs aren't coming back. That's why when I hear both Democrats and Republicans say we're going to bring jobs back, well, if Trump is serious, then is he going to shut down his operation overseas and bring it back and pay people real wages with real benefits? No, he's not going to do that. How are you going to force Apple to close down their plants and all these automotive plants that are in China, paying their workers nothing, like they're going to bring them all back? Hershey's, Huffy, they just went to Mexico. They can't. Now they can possibly maybe create new sustainable jobs, but where is all the work at? In hospitality. There's no real work out here anymore, unless you start your own business. It's over with. It's a wrap. Help my family repatriate back to Africa. There is no future here. No peaceful, thriving, happy type of future. Not here, no. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. As a group, we just can't seem to be treated fairly for some odd reason. And as a whole in the U.S. and get our fair shake of what we really deserve, based solely on our backbreaking labor that we gave this country for free. We fought for the United States. We fought in all wars. Matter of fact, our fighting for our freedom predates the American Revolution. When we stepped foot here, we tried to link up with the natives and we tried to get busy. You know, so we predate. And we were lied to. We helped the Americans win in the American Revolution. You know, all the wars we fought in, Civil War, all of them, Filipino War, blacks fought, nothing. World War I, World War II, nothing. We were lynched in our uniforms. Blacks were lynched in their World War I, World War II uniforms. Lynched. Came home, fought for the white man to be lynched. Segregated. They weren't fighting for our freedom. When German prisoners were captured, they ate with the Americans in the mess hall. Blacks had to eat somewhere else. So, you know, discrimination. You know, that movie about Jesse Owens just came out. You know, it was racist. You know, and a brother, Archie Williams, my hero, he from the town, he from Oakland, from here. He took the 400-meter gold medal in the 36 Olympics. Archie Williams. But, you know, we always hear how racist Hitler was. And, you know, Hitler didn't want to shake Jesse Owens' hands and none of the brothers' hands. Well, guess what? Neither did Roosevelt. He didn't get no hero's welcome in the White House. And it wasn't until almost 30 years later that blacks, you know, when all the, you know, Jim Crow, quote unquote, ended. But remember, Cassius Clay. That was 1960. Look at that. Was way after the 36 Olympics. In the Rome Olympics was 1960. What did Cassius Clay do? He threw that damn medal in the river. Because it was racist. And we know that history. I'm not going to even go into that. Became Muhammad Ali. So, you know, I don't know. I looked at it for what it is. It's not right. It's not fair. No human being should have to go through this. And we do have the right of return. We're familiar with some of the UN laws. The right of return. Let us go home. In peace. Can we at least do that? Let us go. We're oppressed. We know about the reparations laws and stuff. In this country, United Nations, we know about that stuff. But why isn't America sticking to it? Then you want to condemn other countries of their bad human rights treatment? I don't know. Looked at it, you guys, from all angles. You know, I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim. And it's just not working. It can't work. They talk about too big to fail. How's about too evil to become righteous? You guys tripping off of too big to fail. We're scared of too evil to repent. Too arrogant to repent. Not too big to fail. It's too evil to repent. Too arrogant to be humble. Too arrogant to apologize. You know, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, you know, I deserve better. You know, I deserve better. Even me, you know, as an adult, I've been pulled over by the police 3 times in my adult life. 3 times. Cuffed, handcuffed, and put in the back of a squad car. 3 times. Well, what have I done, officer? Shut up. And guess what? Clean record. Never been to jail. You wanted me to go to jail so bad? Felons, warnings, NA. I'm looking at the computer. NA. But you know what was real bizarre? When I was sitting down in the back of the squad car, I noticed that all the males on my father's side names popped up. My grandfather who had been dead, my uncles, my brothers, my cousins. Why they didn't do my mother's side? That's weird. So he had to let me out. It's weird. It's weird what they do. You know, I see my friends that are addicted to drugs now. I see women that guys was boxing over back in the day. Girls was just fine as hell. Now they all drug addicts. Destroy lives. Why? Because the United States brought the drug in, knowing that these blacks would get addicted and destroy families. Well, I didn't know what foster care was when I was growing up. Who gives their kids away? I didn't have that concept. Now it's a daily thing. And foster care is a multi-million-dollar racket. The negative stereotypes. And the sad part about it is that they don't care. But now, everything is flipped. You got these entire towns with white people addicted to meth. So they're being punished and harming themselves now. And it's sad. White women out here selling their babies for money. Whoever thought that? So we just need your help at repatriating, because this is it's beyond repair at this point. It's beyond repair.